New topic in section of comparative politics, that is political participation. See, political participation is very easiest topic. Political participation and the comparison of state. See, why political participation is very easier topic? Because we have studied democracy, and after that what we have studied electoral system, and then political parties, pressure groups. If we study the political party, pressure group, social movement, what is this? This ensure the participation. Because political party, pressure group, social group means we were studying political participation, and how we can imagine a participation without a strong democratic form of government. And that is the reason we are repeating the topic. But let's see, what is a political participation? It's very easier. One of the most easiest topic, and that is a political participation. Look, how we can define the participation? See, most important, simplest definition of political participation, that is given by Huntington and Nelson. One of the simplest definition of political participation given by Huntington and Nelson, who said that as activity by private citizen designed to influence the governmental decision making, that is a participation. It means that is simply as activity by private individual, private citizen designed to influence governmental decision making, and that is a participation. But how we can understand participation in more concrete terms? In more concrete terms, like if we are participating in voting, that is a participation. Although that is a narrower meaning of participation. If we are exercising a vote, and that is a narrower meaning of participation. And in democracy, voting is very important, although voting is also happen in a non-democratic nations too. Non-democratic nations also organize a voting, and there is a lack of competitive party system. See, there is a lack of choices too, but somehow they want to legitimize their political system. In that case, they organize a voting. But what is a larger meaning? What is the broader meaning of political participation? If you look the larger meaning of political participation, then it is a holding or seeking any political office, that is a political participation. Becoming a member of a political party and pressure group, that is a political participation. It means somehow actively participating in the pressure group or political party, that is political participation. In that way, pressure group is a way to participation, party is also a way to promote the participation, and there may be numerous ways. See, because why? Because what Nelson and Huntington says that any activity which influence the decision making of government. Therefore, what is going on in Delhi, farmers protest, there is also participation. And that is a larger meaning of participation. It means participation is not limited only in form of voting. And how you can define the larger meaning of participation, broader meaning of participation? Look, Russ and Elthoff. Russ and Elthoff define a broader meaning of participation. And what is the broader meaning? See, first, holding any political administrative office is a political participation. In the case, it means who is a minister holding political or administrative office. In a case, if somebody become an IAS officer, health minister, chief minister, this is also a sort of political participation, because we are holding office. Or second, but seeking political or administrative office is also kind of participation. We are not holding the office, but we are very much desperate. We are very much willing to hold the office. That is an also sort of participation. And second, active membership in political organization. See, there's a two kind of membership. They may be in a WhatsApp group too. Some members are active and some members are passive. Active members of WhatsApp group means who continuously send the message. That is active. And passive members means they never try to send a message, but only they read out the message. They're passive. In that way, if we are the political organization refers political parties, pressure groups. Political organization means we are also participating in the parliament, because the meaning of political organization is broader. We can become the active membership, we can become the passive membership. And that is also political participation. It means in that way, each and every our activity, if we are living in a democratic nation, then somehow it is influencing decision making of government. In that way, we are directly or indirectly taking part in the political participation. In that way, political meaning of political participation is very broader. And look, active membership of interest group, passive members of interest group. The active and passive is simply, see, there are so many people who have created various groups, but they are not actively advocating that. They are not actively promoting that. Only they have making the group for namesake. And some person may be a member of a political party, but he's not attending the rallies. They are not taking part in the various protest. Therefore, that is passive. And participation in public meeting, wherever rally is going on, protest is going on, we should be part of participation. It means, in that case, all the people who are participating in the farmers movement, this is example of political participation. And to some extent, taking part in informal political discussion. It means, in that way, nobody is away from the political participation, because while reading out the newspaper in a group, if we are discussing over political matters, then we are taking part in a political. We are also the part of political participation and general interest in politics. If we are having some interest like in parliament, like in elections, to automatically this is also our participation, because if I am more willing to know that which party is going to win in the election of West Bengal, therefore somehow I am showing my interest in the politics. If I am reacting over the tweet of Prime Minister, Chief Minister, this shows that I have some sort of interest in the politics. And then voting. See, voting is a narrower meaning of participation that I have told you. And it is surprising to know that apathy is also a kind of participation. So what is apathy? A kind of not inclined to participate. What is apathy? What is apathy? What is kind of, see, it is a very much reluctant to participate. That is apathy. It means if somebody is not voting, because why? He say that what is worth to vote? Why I am wasting my voting? Because जैसे नागनाथ है वैसे सांपनाथ है. Both are having the same character. It means, what does it mean by whether X party come in power or Y party come in power? Our situation have to remain the same. Then why I should take a too much interest in that? And that is a kind of apathy. Therefore, not participating is also kind of participation, because why? Because there may be some reason. If somebody is not participating in the system, there may be some reason behind that. And these are the larger meaning of political participation in that way. And there is a hierarchical too. It means hierarchical means if we are going from bottom to top, this is more intensive way to participation. And if we are going from top to bottom, the participation, the intensity of participation becomes more and more low, more and more less. And this is, it means in that way, you can't imagine a person living in a democratic nation who is not participating in a form of, in this way. Because directly, indirectly, overtly, covertly, somebody is participating in this manner or other manner. And next, if this is the broader meaning of participation, then we have to also examine that why somebody is having apathy and what are the various forms of participation. But larger meaning of participation I have told you, narrower meaning of participation I have told you. And before moving the types of participation, how this participation is decided by the form of government, the electoral method. Electoral methods are very important, forms of government are very important, which determines our participation. And it means larger meaning of participation, that almost all the activity which is influencing the decision of the government, that is also participation. And why there is apathy, why some people don't want to participate, we will also examine the reason behind that too. Why somebody don't want to participate. It means, and if you look political participation and what are the forums of participation, here it is voting, here is a pressure group, political party, social movement, what we have studied till now, again we are putting together. But participation through pressure group is more important, political parties are more important, or social movement are more important, then you can say that no, social movement is a more better way to participation, because political parties and pressure groups are more organized. Somehow they try to fulfill the interest of you. They may not be in reach of a larger masses. And in that case, we can adopt the method of social movement for making our voice heard. And see how the form of government impact the participation, and electoral method also influence the participation. And if you look at the form of government means, in a democracy, see, democracy is all about known for participation. And as of now, we know the discussion regarding the participatory democracy. And that is the reason the present form of democracy is not only a electoral democracy. Now democracy is no longer considered as a vote-centric democracy. And in democracy, there are various modes of participation. And what happens in democracy when we participate in the system, therefore we are raising our grievances too. We are raising our grievances too, and this is the highest meaning of a democracy. Comprehensive meaning of democracy, when civil society become very stronger. And you will realize the fact that nation like, let's say Switzerland, they are not only a nation like Switzerland, they are not only holding the elections, but they are also introducing other means of participation. They are also applying other means of participation. And other means of participation means, in Switzerland there is a referendum. A referendum means ultimately lawmaking is the responsibility of legislatures. And when a parliament or legislature, they will enact a law, therefore it will be scrutinized by the people, by citizens. Remember, it will not be scrutinized by the judiciary. What happens in case of India? See, if some law regarding the farmers that is enacted by government, then it is a challenge in the court of law. But in Switzerland, the law enacted by parliament or the legislative councils, that is scrutinized by citizens themselves. There is no role of Supreme Court, and citizens, although number is there, if majority of citizens are disagree with that law is tend to be null and void. That law will become null and void. And look, this is a participation, because why? What happens in democracy? Voting is a simple method. Why we did vote? We voted for a government, and I have only decided that I have voted for this party. But my vote doesn't mean that my entire role is finished with the voting. Voting is only a limited part of participation where I have decided that party X would form the government. But thereafter, if party is making some policy, party is making some legislation, then my voice is equally important. And how I can raise my voice? Through political participation. And in Switzerland, there is a referendum, and then there is a recall, and then there is the initiative. So various mechanisms are applied in Switzerland. NC initiative means lawmaking. Lawmaking can be initiated by the citizens. Remember, citizens will not enact a law because there is a parliament, their procedure. But if more than majority of the people, they are in favor of particular law and they are giving petitions to parliament regarding the framing of law in their direction, and then parliament will make a lawmaking. And this is initiative. Initiative means people can initiate regarding the framing of a law, regarding the formulation of a law. Although the responsibility of lawmaking there belong to the parliament, but initiative that is starting, that will be done by the people. And here recall means calling back our elected representative. And why we will call back our elected representative? In a case, if a member of parliament is elected for 5 years and they are not performing their duties, and therefore we are having a right to recall them before the completion of their term. It means they are not becoming too much responsible for the people. They are not doing their job in a more professional manner. Therefore, why voters would wait for 5 years? No, we will recall. And these are the greater meaning of participation in a nations like Switzerland. And participation is also decided by the electoral system. But look, in democratic system, participation is too much in form of now there is social movement too. Although in a smaller country like Switzerland, there is no need of a social movement because the dissatisfaction of people is very low. Dissatisfaction of people is very low. In that case, there is no need of a social movement. But where dissatisfaction is very high, then there is a probability of social movement. But see, in democracy, what happens? Electoral system also determine the participation, although it is a narrower meaning of participation, but electoral system is also somehow determine the participation in democracy. And see, normally in democracy, what is the electoral system? First past the post system. That is applied in India for Lok Sabha election and the election of state legislative councils. And in first past the post system, how it is entire country is divided in the various parliamentary constituencies. And in every constituency, various parties are allowed to contest election. But winner will become one. Only one person will win the election, although multiple parties are allowed to contest the election. An entire nation is divided in a constituency that is kept of same size. See, practically it means, suppose that in a particular constituency, if more than 3, 4, 5 people they are contesting in election, and person A they are getting the 40% vote, person B getting the 30% vote, person C they are getting 20% vote, and person D they are getting 10% vote. Who is the winner? 40. In that equation, you can find out the problem associated with the first past the post system. Therefore, it is not a strong method of political participation. Since we have accepted that electoral system is one method of participation, therefore we should adopt a stronger electoral method in order to encouraging the participation. And look, what is the problem of the first past the post system? The person who is winning the election, they are getting the not majority of votes, but they are getting the maximum vote. First drawback. In democracy, what happens? The person who is representing us, they should get the majority vote, but that is not condition. In first past the post vote, whosoever get the maximum vote, they are winner. And in that way, what is the harm? The people who are receiving the majority of votes, they are losing. And this again goes the basic principle of first past, one person, one vote. It means the people who are receiving majority of votes, we are discounted, neglected, ignored their vote. And again, in first past the post system, we can't imagine the representation of minorities. Only the one person is supposed to win the election, and therefore a person who gets the maximum vote, they are declared as a winner. They stand to be winner. In that condition, this is not a too stronger method of participation in the electoral sense. And that's the reason various nations now they're preferring a list system of proportionate representation. List system of proportionate representation. And see, why list system of proportionate representation and how it works? Look, because in list system, first, nation is not divided in a same size of parliamentary constituency first. And it is a election that is not held on the basis of candidate. It is election that is held on the basis of list of political party, because various political parties issue the name of various candidates in their list. And the party which receive the vote, and they're in equal amount, they receiving the seat too. How? Suppose that party A got the 40% vote. Same time, they will get the 40% seat. It means not a single vote is wasted here. And party B got the 30% vote. Same time, they will receive 30% seat. And party C, which got 20% vote, and they will get a 20% seat. And the party D, which receive 10% vote, and same time they will receive 10% seat. 10% seat. And that is the way how we operationalize the list system. See, in list system, there is a more probability of representation of minorities. Therefore, it is more a system which allow more participation. More participation. And look, because each and every vote is counted first, and minorities are represented second. But you will ask the question that a party which is getting a 2% vote, in that system, we make a threshold, like in Germany, there is threshold of 5% vote. A party which is receiving less than 5% vote, they are discounted from the entire procedure. It means a party shall be given any seat only in a condition when they are getting more than 5% vote. So we can make a threshold first. Then we will ask the question that, but in list system, there will be more importance of party because people are voting for a party list. And again, therefore, this will maximize the role of party, true. And independents are not allowed to contest, true. Because there is no scope of independent candidate, because it is a party which is contesting the election, it is also true. And third argument, you can also say that there is no connection, there is no correlation between the candidate and their constituency, it is also true. Candidate and constituency is also true. And last, in that method of electoral system, although it is a better method of representation in comparison to first past the post system, there is no doubt about that. But what is the drawback of list system? There is a likelihood of coalition government. It means in that form of government, you can't imagine for a stable government. And that is a problem. See, therefore, each and every system has their advantage too and can keep their disadvantage too. This is the method of participation. And next question you can ask same time. See, federal government is more appropriate for participation, a unitary government, federal government. Same thing we can associate with each and every topic. Therefore, federal government promotes more participation. And look, in a country like India, how we have introduced third tier of a democracy, that is in form of Panchayati Raj. And what is Panchayati Raj? More and more participation. And this is one of the best practices in the world. Therefore, nowadays, wherever we are talking of political participation refers the more and more participation of people in the system. In that way, federal form of government is best suited for participation. And whenever we are introducing Panchayati Raj, local self-government, can you imagine the level of participation? So level of participation is good. And in democratic system, this always happen. But can you imagine a system which is non-democratic, like in China, which is non-democratic in China? See, there is a less and less amount and level of participation. And there is less participation because party decide each and everything. And nobody can express the dissent. If you read out the newspaper of today, what Xi Jinping says that if somebody is dissatisfied the party decision, they are not allowed to speak outside a party. And who will guarantee that what happened inside the party? Because inside party, we are not going to attend what is happening inside the party. And outside, nobody is allowed to speak. It means dissent, suppression is somehow not allowed. Dissent and disagreement is not allowed in non-democratic nation. It is suppressed. And therefore, look, the nation like North Korea, can you imagine any participation in North Korea? And that is the reason it is said that non-democratic nations, they more rely over force and violence for controlling the people. Likelihood of force and violence is more in a non-democratic nations. Look, we can criticize India. We can criticize India that how farmers are coming here and how wow they are creating a problem. But it is a democratic country, and it is a wisdom of a democratic country. It is uniqueness of a democratic country where each and every people is allowed to protest because that is all about participation. But can you imagine same thing in the non-democratic nation? And that is the reason why Soviet Union dismantled, because when Soviet Union reformed the system in order to promote the participation, they have destroyed the system. And it is a matter of great interest in days to come how China will democratize its system, because people of China are now more educated, they are more prosperous right now. So whether they will not eager to participate in the system, although they will accept the kind of domination which is maintained by the communist system. And this is only history will tell. This will be only known in days to come. But non-democratic system operates differently, and democratic system operates differently. And therefore, India democracy, therefore, we engage in talk with separatist leader in Kashmir and Northeast. But can you imagine that China is going to talk with Dalai Lama, and China is going to listen to what people of Hong Kong says? That not at all. And that is a problem. In non-democratic country, we are having limited participation. And see, elections are also for name shake. There is no proper election, only one party is there. So these are the political party, electoral system, form of government, and I have told you about federal form of government. So naturally, in democracy, unitary form of government allow less and less participation. However, federal form of government promote more participation. Local self-government, that is a really a bigger meaning of participation. So these are the participation which is linked with the various electoral system and form of government. And then next, what are the types of participation? Next is what is types of participation. So first we saw the meaning of participation, then participation through various form of government, electoral system. Then third, there may be professional participation. Professional participation means the person who is the leader of a political party, person who have made a pressure group, interest group, they are professional. And the people who are there in the television and they are spokesperson of a political party, and that denotes a professional participation. Non-professional means a kind of part-time participation. Non-professional means, see, if there's some protesting group is assembled somewhere, we are also taking part in that, and we also got some tea and coffee, and that's all. So we also raise our voices once or twice, and we are also holding a flag for 1 or 2 days, and then we are coming back. That is a non-professional method of participation. And see, ceremonial. Ceremonial means if there is any program like Republic Day parade, and then we are celebrating 15th August, and then holding the flag and moving on the road. That is a ceremonial participation. It means a ceremony always organized occasionally. It's not a frequent. So that is also a way of participation. And next, protest participation. See, because in democracy what happens, but in non-democratic nation these are not allowed. Can you imagine participation through social movement in non-democratic country? Not at all. To some extent with party, there is a one-party system, and pressure groups are also limited. But protest participation is very much part of the democratic nation. But you always remember, protests should not be turned into violent protest, because in democracy, violence can't be accepted. And if some group is indulge in violence, then we can't justify their protest. So these are the various types of protest. Now, see what is the basis of protest. Next, what is the basis of protest? And if you look, again, Huntington and Nelson, the same scholar. See, if you want to know that what is the basis of participation, simply if we have voted out, because once or twice you might have gone for the voting, and if you have voted, can you imagine that what is a factor which motivated you to vote? And if you look, Huntington and Nelson, what they say, that class may be motivating factor, because what is participation? I have told you, whether we are taking part in protest, going for a voting, going in a protest, rally, dharna, that is a form of participation. It means we are somehow inspired, motivated for the participation. And from where we get that inspiration? See, it is because of social status, income, occupation. These may be factor. These are various factors. See, occupation means a person who is a more technical engineer, doctor, they may not be too much interested in participation. The person who is a student of political science, professor of political science, they are more eager to participate. So occupation does matter. Social status, it may be the true that person who is a very rich, they are not very much inclined to participate. So opposite may also be true. It means class. Communal group means sometime religion, language, ethnicity, that motivate us, because some people they are participating in election because we want to vote in favor of that person because that belongs to our caste, group, religion, and that may be factor. Communal group. Therefore, the people of Indian origin, how they have supported Kamala Harris in US. And that is somehow our participation is decided by the communal group. Next, neighborhood. It means where we are residing. That's also determined. It means if all the people in our neighborhood, they are voting for a particular party, automatically we are also more inclined to vote or favor of that political party. Same time, party. See, if we are a member of party, we are supporting particular party, this automatically inspires us to participation. And then it is a faction. Faction is some sort a small party. It is a kind of prior stage of a party, a group. If we are people of faction, like caste association, faction may be also categorized as a pressure group too. Then our participation also influenced by this faction. It means these are the numerous factors which inspire, which motivate, and which ensures political participation. And again, I'm saying that since participation includes apathy too, so this may be also a factor behind not participation. If I'm not participating, because apathy means we are not eager to participate, then these factors may be work in that condition too. And let's see. Then participation and apathy. The next very question. which we have considered why people are, and see why apathy is there. See, apathy, voting fatigue, these are problems which are present in almost each and every part of democracy. See, if you want to realize the apathy, you look how there is a less voting percentage. In developed nation too, the voting percentage is declining. And that is the reason some nations have created a law for, see, a compulsory voting. Although in various nations we can't enforce the compulsory voting, but this is the reason why there may be multiple factors why some people are not participating, why they are making very much, see, they are not feeling attracted towards the participation, and there may be the various reason. And if you want to know the reason academically, then Columbia studies believe that social environmental factors are the main cause, because we are living in a group, we are living in an environment where all people are having very negative attitudes for political system that may discourage our participation. All the environment means all thing. Environment includes all the class, neighborhood, occupation, society. And second, what Michigan study says that? Michigan's study says that psychological factors are more important. It means in which society we are living, what is the context in which we are living, and that is less important. Then what is our imagination? What is our thinking? What is our thinking? What is our motivation? What is our, see, memory regarding any political system party that inspire a person for participation to and for apathy to. And look, apathy is a negative factor as far as the political participation is concerned, and that is reason various acts are adopted by the various government. Like what happens in a non-democratic government, people are forced to mobilize for the participation, and that is a possible non-democratic government, because somehow government want to justify their legitimacy, and for justifying their legitimacy they want to say that no, more and more people are taking part in the government, and then somehow they mobilize the people for promoting the participation. And in next condition, what happens if they are not mobilized? But in democratic country, most of the participation is voluntary, because nobody can force them. It means psychological reason too, environmental factors too, that may be a reason behind apathy. Because what is the reason behind participation, that may also be reason behind the apathy too. But that apathy is not good for a democratic nation. That is not good for a democratic nation, because that keeps mounting the dissatisfaction of the people towards system. With that section, we are finishing the entire concept of participation.